do you think?
I don't want to get us there.
Yeah. So while we're getting ready to take off here, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Brant Kehrer for giving us the opportunity to come with him. We did a lot of scouting down around Sparta, and we came back up and went to Lebanon and crossed the Air Force Base a couple times. So we'll go check all that out and see what we can find. So I thought this was a pretty cool shot. It's not every day you get to see a rainstorm from this perspective. It's kind of cool how you can see where the storm starts and stops, and we kind of spent most of our afternoon dodging the storm, trying to get to Sparta, where we're going to now, and then coming back up and scouting around Lebanon. So after a quick pit stop for some fuel, we fired this thing back up, and you gotta listen to how this thing takes off. It's pretty sweet. So once we left Sparta, we headed back north, and I asked Brant how close we could get to that tower. That's the Baldwin power plant. It's a coal-fire power plant, and I've been close there before, but not in a helicopter, obviously. So he said we can get pretty close, and we did. I got a couple shots of it. It's been open for quite a while, over 10 years. I'm not really sure when, but you can see the stack there, and then off to the left is the cooling pond. So this is the SIU Research Center. They've got quite a few test plots going on. I'm not sure what all goes on here, but off to the left you can see we're passing the dealership again and coming up on the Air Force Base. So I always thought the Air Force Base was a little more secure than this, but Brant did some sweet talking on the radio and they let us ride in. So here we are flying over the runway. You can see off to the left there's some big, I'm not even sure what they are, I'd be lying to you if I did, some, I don't know. I don't even know the numbers, to be honest, but some big planes over there. If you stick around to the end of the video, we crossed their path again and got a pretty good shot at their fighter jets. They tend to fly a lot. So it's a little hard to tell from how far we are, but here soon some of you guys should realize what field we're coming up on. This is what we call the bottoms, and a while back I did a video, part of a video on this field and all the work that went into it. It's got about 80 miles of 4-inch tile and a pretty complex draining system with 2 railroad cars that the water pools into and then gets pumped out into the creek. You can see here that it is surrounded by Silver Creek. You'll catch a glimpse of it here off to the left. It's surrounded by Silver Creek, and it's got a levee around the field. It's 500 acres, and it was laser leveled in the 80s. And you can see here in a little bit that some of that leveling is showing its age for sure. This field levee has broken a couple times and turned this field into a lake, and when that happens, turbulence and different things and settling and makes the leveling not level anymore. You can see it's attached to 2 fields here. The one with this little riser plugged, that's what we call Greenbergs. You see that looks pretty good. And then behind it is Virginia's, and that's also a field that we farm. So right here in this little area, we've got just under 1,000 acres that's all attached to each other. So here's our second big field in Lebanon. We call it the Lebanon East Farm because it's east of Lebanon. You can see that there's some dimples in the field. Those are all terraces. This field's got somewhere in the range of 20 to 30 terraces. And you can see a really big terrace there. It's almost like a dam waterway that we need to do some work on. And that water patch, that's not a rise or anything, just a low spot. And you can see here there's a line in the field where you can see 2 different crops. We had to replant a large portion of this field due to some bad germination. This is one of Jake's fields. We call it the Summerfield Farm. These long stripes in the field are actually really long terraces. And then you can see a little bit of discoloration here. These are also terraces that just hold a little bit more water and discolor the crop. And here comes the wind damage. So this field is about as close to 100% flat as you could get. We're flying pretty fast here, but I assure you this field is flat. You can see a little bit of standing corn, but for the most part, it's done. So now we're flying north of Mascoutah, and here's where you can really see the direction the storm took. This field's not near as bad, but it's still pretty bad. You get a shot looking down the bottom window, and you can see the direction this storm was going, about northwest, mostly north. This next clip is one of a field that caught on fire a couple weeks back, and you can still see his combine way out there in the field. So we can see here again, this storm is still running north and south, and if you look, this next field coming up, this is a clear shot of how some varieties can handle wind and some cannot. So they had one type on one side of their planer and another type on the other side of their planer, and you can see how one variety just did not like the wind, but the other one was fine. here's the last shot of us crossing the base again, heading south to go back to the dealership. I don't know what kind of planes these are, but maybe one of you guys does. So if you know it, comment it down below. So that's going to be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks again to Brant for letting us come along. It was awesome, and I hope you do it again.